10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Team Empire's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Team Empire's turn to pick.
Welcome back, everybody. Game number 2 now between Team Empire and HellRaisers. HellRaisers are currently up 1-0. What went wrong in game number 1? Do you think that part of it was the draft, that Team Empire just didn't give themselves a draft that was perhaps too timing focused, that maybe it was one of those lineups where if you mess up once or twice, you're just not going to be able to make it through?
But that's what you want to do if you're a professional team. Leave like a small margin in error. I think a lot of times in the past you would draft like a lineup that was like all around good.
Yeah.
But nowadays like people are focusing more on these like specific timings or where their lineup is like incredibly strong. And I think they really just messed up. Like they got off a little bit too often, and then they didn't really have anything to deal with the CK late game. It was just a good last pick by HellRaisers, and at the same time, Empire didn't play it as ideally as they should have.
All right, let's get into game number 2 now with the Oracle first pick. Starting things off on Team Empire, HellRaisers have got the Nature's Prophet and Witch Doctor in response, though. Once again, the Wisp seemingly left out of the pool alongside some other notable heroes like Faceless Void, Death Prophet,
Invoker. I mean, I don't think DP is as bad as some of those heroes, but...
yeah, I would agree with you. I think Invoker and Wisp definitely strong. Faceless Void is perhaps situational based on your...
Invoker.
So that's the hero.
There it is.
Team Empire's
The Invoking Master.
You know, we're seeing all these complaints on Reddit now about how strong Invoker is.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is,
10 seconds
you know, I was
remaining.
thinking this when Invoker was first becoming really popular.
5
How many of his
seconds
abilities are just better than the other versions of those abilities?
Huh?
Like Ghostwalk. Better than any other
Radiant
invis
team
out
back.
there.
It speeds you up and it slows everybody down.
The Deafening Blast Meteor combo. Better than Lena's combo.
Yeah.
Because you have no counterplay against it.
It's kind of silly that you can't puck, of all things, you can't like puck face shift dodge it.
Team
Yeah.
Empire's
Bird Spirits.
turn to
Better
ban.
than most other summons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alacrity is a really good steroid. Cold Snap is incredible.
Alacrity. Better than Bloodlust. Better than... What are some other damaging
10
creeps?
seconds
Cold Snap is like
remaining.
Enigma Stun. If they just made it better.
Malefice on crack,
5
yeah.
seconds
Malefice on
remaining.
crack.
So if you give this hero all of those abilities that are
Reserve
better
time.
than perhaps some of their other counterparts, then yeah, he's going to be pretty strong. And sure enough, Invoker does belong in the first 1-2 pickup pool.
Honestly, I think the thing that's the worst about him is that I think Deafening Blast is too good. There's no way to really escape his combo. I think if they
it's
changed...
just not something that, whether you're playing or even if you're watching, it's just not like no element of counterplay. So it's just like, what? Somebody's hit by the ult, oh, that person's dead. There's no, You can't be on edge. Like, is this person gonna get his BKB? No, he can't. If the
He
can't
combo's
get his BKB off.
If the combo is executed correctly by Invoker, which 99% of the time it is at professional play, then no, he's not getting his BKB off. He's gonna take, the full contact at that meteor damage plus a lot of the burn.
10 seconds.
By that point in
remaining.
time, he's probably low enough just for you to right-click him down.
It's an interesting
5 seconds
hero
remaining.
because before it was one of those heroes that you had to have like high mechanical skill to play and you had to time
Radiant
things
team
out,
pick.
and now it's just become like a 4-button hero. We took like one of the most complex heroes in Dota and then just turned it into, just rinse and
To a
repeat.
better Lina.
Yeah, to a better Lina. Like I wasn't even a fan of that Lina, and I was playing her all the time. But Invoker is something else.
Our second set of bans are going to be Puck and Spectre, banned away by Team Empire, the Spearbreaker and Nyx Assassin,
Team
and by
Empire's
HellRaisers again,
turn to
keeping
pick.
the Spearbreaker out of the hands of Havos. The HR pickup is going to be an OD against the Invoker, one of the few heroes that can win that matchup, right?
The OD does quite well. It's one of those heroes that you almost just like, you see an Invoker, you're like, okay, we're gonna take OD.
And again, I think we've watched this exact matchup too. Nature's Prophet and OD on a team against
10 seconds remaining.
Invoker.
That time though, no one went insane.
5
There's definitely a
seconds
skill difference
remaining.
there between Vega and who was it they played? PR?
Power range. Yeah.
Reserve
Very
time.
big difference. Since they lost old Illidan. Which I have to say, like, when the announcement came that he was going to be playing with HR, so this is going to be permanent or not, I thought that it was like, okay, that means Power Rangers definitely drop down.
Yeah.
Into, like, the tier 3 or lower tier 2 category. And HellRaisers, like, I actually think going into the series, I expected HR to win.
Really?
I mean, maybe I have too much faith in Illidan, but I really thought that he's just such a strong carry player.
Empire really, their lineup is not as vaunted as it once was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Radiant team.
That old lineup with
Resolution.
Resolution and Silent.
Yeah, that was something.
The
Yeah,
problem was that they always, for some reason, just like choked when it came to like game time. I don't know what it was about their lineup. It's just like, TI comes around and they're just like,
Team
guys, you know all
Empire's
that
turn to
owning
pick.
we were doing the rest of the year?
JK.
Yeah, we're just not. Forget
that
about
was
that.
that was just a February to like April thing.
Yeah. It's like,
that was the Empire.
it's always the Empire's like time period. It's like right before TI, and then you just super hype them up. You know, they're always like top 2 at every line. Even when like the Chinese were dominant, they were doing really well, and then they get to TI and they just finish like bottom 4, and you're just like, man, I had such higher
Radiant
hopes for this team.
banned.
It's so sad to see too, because I remember when we saw them, they came to our studio, they played at the defense, they dominated Vici in like a really exciting series.
Yeah, that was super fun.
And I was just like, man, this is finally
And we had casted MLG before
Yeah,
that, where
and they won.
10
Yeah, they
seconds
won,
remaining.
over
beating
EG.
out EG.
I was just like, this is Empire's.
I was
This
like,
is
oh,
Empire's
finally, Empire.
Yeah, Empire's doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Never again, Blitz. I'll never trust Empire. No
Reserve
matter who's
time.
on, they could change every single person on this
Yeah,
roster.
they could be in the finals, and I would still.
I'd be like, nope.
But no, but seriously, I kind of like the fact that the players kind of split up just because clearly something wasn't
Yeah.
working, and that's the ultimate goal for any gamer. Like, you can talk to any of the, the TI participants. They don't really care about what they did before TI.
Team Empire's
Did you show up at
turn to
TI
ban.
when it mattered? That Team Secret lineup maybe was the most talented roster like ever assembled in Dota, like Dota 1 or Dota 2 bar none. Didn't win TI. They won 4 lands, 5 lands before that. They don't care.
Yep.
TI, they
10
didn't win TI.
seconds remaining.
Team Empire have picked up a combination that,
5 seconds
I love.
remaining.
Faceless Void and Invoker. Easy to lead into Global
10
Stun Strikes,
seconds
as well
remaining.
as potentially later on, mid-game, late game,
Radiant team pick.
free meatballs and such. The Disruptor going up against a Furion, as well as a good controlling hero against the OD, feels pretty strong, but tanking as sort of... I feel like when you're going up against Faceless Void, you need a counter-initiator, and like I personally, back in the day when Faceless Void was picked up more as the carry position, I really liked the Tidehunter, a good counterplay to the Chronosphere.
Yeah,
10
because
seconds
a lot
remaining.
of the times, like the Tide Ravage, you almost want to use it as a
5
counter initiator
seconds
Yeah.
rather
remaining.
than just like the straight up spell. It's really easy to just outplay. Like later on in the game, you just BKB pop as soon as you see the
Reserve
watermelon
time.
walk in,
Mhm.
and once it hits the outer ring, like you've way more than enough time to react to it.
Yeah.
Whether like blinking or astraling yourself or something like that.
But here, since they already had an offlane Nature's Prophet, they needed a 4 position that would sort of counter-initiate in a Faceless Void setup.
They just needed something that
Yeah.
could initiate to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
Something that they were really lacking.
Yeah, with 2 kind of glass cannon intelligence heroes, thing beefy on the front lines. Now, do they double down on that? Do they get a carry that can also do that, such as like Wraith King or something? Because Team Empire's was thinking more burst, and they banned away more flame.
I'm not really enamored with the concept of Wraith King or HellRaisers. I guess you could get it in just 5-man down, but it gets kited pretty easily by Empire's lineup. The laning phase with it is... Hey. I'm trying to think what else there is. Gyro's... Hey. Not great. Not bad.
Gyro would be great for Team Empire's line.
Gyro is just one of the better carries left in the game right now.
Works real well with Faceless Voids. I think it's nice having a defensive hero like...
Team Empire's turn
Just the right
to
king.
pick.
Go HR. It's like... I think it's okay, but I feel like Empire have enough to deal with it.
It's just a carry that doesn't care as much about Chronosphere and Invoke.
Yeah, it's like the old Doom counter. Remember when Doom was a hero?
Yeah.
Then everybody would just auto-pick Wraith King. It's like,
Yeah.
Doom our Wraith King. Go for it.
10 seconds remaining.
Time. Why do you think Doom's not
5
viable anymore?
seconds remaining.
Because the Lincoln's popping, plus it's just kind of
too
hard
well.
to set up with it.
Wow, that is now all... Team Empire have done, I almost feel like a 180 in a way. Now they have super late game. With the Slark pickup.
Slark's good against Wraith King too.
Yeah.
Again,
Kind of plays into any hero that survives a long time, right?
now I almost feel like HR have the timing. Because I think Illidan's hero is going to be really good.
Yeah.
For the first like 25-30 minutes. But I feel like Aloha Dance can just do Aloha Dance things.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of synergy between Faces Void and Slark, but
Not at all.
I guess that's just totally about countering the hero like Wraith King.
It's also works well with Void. Or Invoker, I mean. And you don't want to play against Void. Invoker. That one spell, Time Dilation.
Time to
Is so frustrating to play against as an Invoker. I haven't played Invoker once this patch. I think it's
you.
been over like a year and a half since I played that hero though.
That's how I know you're a decent human.
You know when the Troll Sniper meta was around? You want to know how many times I played
30
that?
seconds to
It's 0.
Same here. Same here. I mean, it's also because I'm not a carry.
Oh, and Jug. Jug Troll Sniper, 0 games.
Yeah.
You know me, just playing some Storm Spirit. I haven't touched a Lone Druid either, but I'm going to. I'm gonna spam some games on him. Nice. It's time to become a meta player.
Oh yeah. In your quest to 8K or?
Maybe my quest
The
back to
battle
6K on my
begins.
Smurf. I don't even know what's
You went-
happened to that account.
You went below 6K?
Yeah.
Is that RTZ's fault?
No, it's definitely mine.
Yeah.
The player behavior report card for that. You want to know what it is? The number? I checked it.
What is it?
3,400.
Oh my god.
I'm definitely in.
That's some real shadow pool shit.
Yeah,
right
I'm
there.
I'm definitely in some kind of
Holy crap.
Liverpool kind of thing. Because I can tell because when like my team just immediately picks 5 cores and it's like a 6K average game, I'm like I'm in some kind of shitter pool. I did something. Deserve this. Alright, this mid matchup though, Afo Ninja's getting really aggressive off the bat. I don't know what you want to do with an OD. Send them away with the Astral as much as you can.
Make sure you get free last hits and maybe denies as well.
Yeah, but this is the counter. The FN can summon this Force Spirit early on, and there's not a whole lot that the OD can do for the early levels.
Yeah, once he gets Arcane Orb though, right?
Yeah, you dominate it.
Yeah.
But it's just this beginning that becomes really hard.
Because that's that illusion damage, right? It only does 100 extra damage at level.
Yeah. I think the big thing too, is you kind of need a high ground ward, which he has, if you notice.
Yeah.
If you're the OD, you sort of need one. Otherwise, the Invoker can just kite you. The one downside.
This bottom lane is going to be pretty favorable for Havos. They just don't have enough burst damage to be able to kill him, most likely. Can play this lane pretty aggressively, unless Sand King ever takes a gander out the bottom lane. With a stun now, zip away and still have plenty of HP left.
It's so hard to trade it as a support against this.
Yeah.
Because you notice, just look at the regen, and that matters a lot in these dual lane situations. Your Wraith King regen doesn't really matter. It's the Void versus the support.
Yeah.
The support has, oh no, run.
Deep pickup. But most of the time, the Faceless Void either has double tangos or tangos, salve, and fairy fires. You'll never be able to match him, especially when he has PMS, which is normally the first item.
He went double tango, right?
Double tango for the
Double tango stout and then salve. Just picked up the PMS from the side. Really good. Poor Man Shield makes it so that these average attack dealers, all the range supports, don't really do too much to you.
threatening the Furion TP. Why is it that Gotham's been playing in the top lane, do you think, so much? He's just trying to ensure that Shotchlow does okay for the first minute or two? Because he's playing this more like the forward position Night Stalker, where you pick up boots first and roam around the map.
I don't know. I personally think he should just be farming. Because he's not going to do anything for Gotham at top.
Too late to stack.
Or
this.
Shachlo, I mean. Like, Shachlo should be able to do pretty much whatever he wants. The Sand King, though, it's not been efficient whatsoever. Still level 1, and I don't think there's a single stack in the jungle, right?
No. Just tried to stack for himself, but...
Push Doctor get some gold. Be D-warning into the bottom. Doesn't hurt Havos too much, though. He's already made use of this lane pretty decently. Sand King's gonna come down here, walk all the way around. I like this move, but
it has to be
It has to
successful.
work, yeah. It's a level 1 Sand King with 0 stacks.
Alright, stun number 1. Oh
no,
they're
they stacked
stacking
it!
the stun! The casket is gonna bounce around. It's not. But
Here
they have
comes-
Shotchlow. They don't have Sprout.
Okay,
Not enough.
that's a 4-hero rotation for...
Oh, they definitely needed to chain those stuns better.
That Maledict did like nothing as a result.
Yeah.
Did like 4 damage a hit.
If he had actually led with Maledict and maybe hit it before the Faceless Void hits the ground from the Burrow Strike,
Yeah.
and then he hits the casket, that would have been such a big difference.
Oh,
in
they
damage.
stacked that though.
That's exactly what couldn't happen for
Radiant's top
HellRaisers.
tower is under attack.
Gotham's gonna be so far behind now.
Yeah. That was just sloppy. Like they miscoordinated that. You couldn't. It's hard to just like blame an individual player there. You probably put credit on both supports because yeah, we don't really know who called what, but you have to kind of assume in this
Radiant's top
position.
tower
I think
is under
that
attack.
probably just didn't really communicate it. They're just like, okay, you stun, I'll stun.
Yeah. Does now that Furion's kind of doing some jungle, do you think Sand King should be heading top
Radiant structures
to
are
kind of
fortified.
bolster some of the lack of experience that he's had?
Radiant's
Yeah.
top tower
No, it's
is
Tavos
under
too. He's
attack.
playing aggressively in this off lane.
Okay, Yola Warrior's going to make the TP instead. He's brought Aloha Dance pretty low with his Maledict, but that is going to be your first one. They sent the Furion back as well. There's no other TP, so Aloha Dance will easily survive. Felt like pretty badly coordinated. Wow.
Yeah. And HR just... They're a lot sloppier than they were in that last game. They're just not coordinating between each other very well. It's less about individual mistakes, I think, on this team so far, and it's just more about the coordination just isn't there. Team chemistry, they should be able to call one after another, right? Like, I'm gonna use this, then you do this.
Yeah.
At bottom, Illidan throws the stun out. Havos just kind of triggers it back, and Sand King again just doesn't really have anything comeback stack.
Mid lane's going really well for Apo, and that's the biggest thing right now. 25 and 15, a large number of denies. Same goes with FN. I guess Apo's CS is a little bit deceptive because large number of those, or at least a number of those, is going to be from Fortress, right?
Doesn't Force Spirits give you a lot of gold too, though?
That's true. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't.
It's not like
matter.
Broodlings.
Yeah, it's like 30.
It's not like Broodlings where, you know, you get like Broodling kill and it's like a third of a creep. This is closer to like 2/3.
FO's playing so far forward. They're actually going to try and counteract it with some TPs coming in. Funnick has already dealt a large number of damage to FO. If they hit him with the Sunstrike, oh no, he got glimpsed back. He's still going to be able to get one kill, maybe a secondary onto Funnick. Got him. Might be able to finish him up, but he needs some time. He's going to turn around to help out on a kill on FN instead. And that's going to be well worth it there for HellRaisers. In fact, they're probably going to take the tower at the same time.
They needed that so badly for their Sand King alone. But this time it was Empire with a little bit of miscommunication. They probably could have killed the OD there before he got anything off. If he didn't use the glimpse.
Yeah.
Because the Sunstrike was definitely going to hit.
Oh, absolutely.
If anything, I thought it was going to hit, and I was looking around for the body.
Yeah, same thing. I thought for a second, I was like, did he die? Did he imprison? Or did the glimpse go off?
Yeah, I was like, he can't have imprisoned. I just saw him use it.
Yeah.
Because I thought that's what happened at the first time too. I realized they just got glimpsed.
Aloha Dance aggressively pushing this top lane, trying to take it all the way into the
Oh!
tier 2 tower. Oh, wait, what? Raid King goes down. What? Didn't get off the mango in time.
Yeah, Funnick just Purifying Flames him, and he was so close though. Like, he could have tread switched and had it, but he didn't think the Oracle was in range. That's the crazy thing about Oracle. He either is or he isn't. It just hits you and you don't really have time to respond.
No.
Purifying Flames just... There's no real animation. You just kind of like wave your hands up and suddenly you're taking 300 damage. Have to be prepared for that.
Radiant's
This
top
ward blocks
tower
out the
is under
camp, so
attack.
just a ward that is going to be checking deep into the jungle. Funnick keep on going here, runs into Shotchlow. Doubtful of the Furion's going to be low while he's jungling, so maybe he's just trying to scout.
That was such a huge kill for Funnick.
Gonna get the deny on the bounty rune? He doesn't go for it. They're actually gonna try and go on Funnick here. He does have his ultimate as well as a TP, so he can probably get out very easily here. Afo. No, I'm not sure if the heal's gonna be enough here. Yeah, they managed to take him out shortly after the ultimate with one more right click out from Afo.
Had to use the...
No real response. Aloha Dance going on to YOLO Warrior, but there's the TP out from the support.
Had to use the Sanity Eclipse though.
Yeah, a pretty heavy commit. It's over a 2-minute cooldown.
Post is just gonna time walk that out.
The one good thing is that the Wraith Fire Blast damage is not negated by time walk. Gorett's dead? Gorett's dead.
Gorett's super dead.
Pew pew.
Doesn't even have enough time to...
You might want to be careful there, Oracle. Oh, this OD might look a little low, but he's got 8 magic wand charges.
You gotta be careful against them. And HR, that's their shining spot right now, is that their OD is doing pretty well. This Invoker, though, is just kind of dutifully farming until he gets his Midas, and he'll still be okay. Wraith King in a position that he doesn't want to be in, though. Only 51 CS to his name at 9 minutes. Slark, on the other hand, is nearly free farm, and he takes down a full tier 2 tower by himself. That's brutal. It's actually so significant that he was able to do that. HR needed to respond to that. There's no way that Aloha Dance should have just been able to walk up there and take a tier 2 tower uncontested.
Yeah, because of that, he is way far ahead. Go for the Gold Shadowblade build.
Yeah, it's still good. Good against the supports too. And later on in the game, here's what matters is who's going to hold on to a gem for HR. If he can take out the gem, then he can just infinitely kite the Wraith King. It's really important for him to do.
Chronosphere is ready to go if they want to try and rotate Havost out of lane in order to get a Chronosphere kill, or do you think it's better for them to try and kill the kill Illidan twice?
You could kill Illidan twice. This phase of the game would be pretty big, but you'd have to rotate quite a few heroes to be able to do so. If anything, H-Low,
he's going to be hit by the Sunstrike, and Funnick picks up another kill.
Getting really farmed.
Adam almost has his Blink Dagger. So I think they're going to try and actually jump the Faceless Void when they have that. Do have enough stun duration, especially if they chain it correctly. So the Epicenter can wipe out the Faceless Void.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know. Things are pretty rough right now, Austin, for Team HR. They're getting out-farmed on the map pretty significantly. The lead is now 3,000 in net worth. XP is going a similar way too. Sand King is a blink though. Huge bright spot for them.
Yeah.
But they need to set up for something quick.
Dire's bottom tower is
They're
under
gonna try and
attack.
force Havos back to this tier 1 tower so they can go for the kill.
They want to
Bottom's
force a
already
fight.
set up. Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Empire's gonna read this. I mean, this is a
Dire's
very aggressive
structures are
maneuver.
fortified.
Doesn't look like everybody's coming. FN's farming the ancients so he can respond,
Dire's bottom tower
but
has
doesn't
fallen.
really look like they're too interested in getting into an engagement. Not against Illidan's ulti. This is a really underfarmed Wraith King. Get 6 on Disruptor before you do anything anyways.
Comparatively, so far behind this Slark. That Shadow Blade for aforementioned hero. Chain boots now for the Disruptor, plus his level 6. Big combo. Aloha Dance is gonna find his first real quick victim. He's gonna be stunned up immediately. They try and go for the epicenter play, but Aloha Dance is gonna be able to stay one step ahead.
Oh no, they don't have dust.
And that is very bad, especially if he loses courier as well. No.
That was the wards. He's going off right now on them.
Apfels found him with the imprisonment, but Aloha Dance is just gonna pop the ultimate, try and leap away, wait out the next Shadow Blade. That'll come up in a second here. Doctor he has a counter ward.
Radiant's
Drop
middle
it, drop
tower
it,
is
drop it!
under
Get the
attack.
stun before he gets out! No, no! They got him, doesn't have the mana.
Just pop the Sandstorm and hope.
Oh man, he just drew so much time too.
Oh, no,
Appo
he's
came
still
back
not
with the imprisonment, but he already went on to Goretz with that one, so they're gonna have to just get a support kill, and that's it.
Cap.
Radiant's
I
bottom
feel
tower is under attack.
for them right now. That wasted so much time. And just got so much gold out of that time that he was able to use. They took down the tower during that. He got a kill and a courier. He wasted like a sentry.
Is this a Yule Scepter
Radiant's
game or an
bottom
Aghanims
tower
game for
is under
Invoker?
attack.
Yule is pretty good
Dire's
here.
middle tower is under attack.
They only have one saving mechanism, and that's imprisonment.
It's really rough. Cost them a lot. That chase. That Benny Hill style chase.
Yeah.
And now that the courier's been sniped too, if I remember correctly, there was a sentry on it. So they do not have vision. And they can't afford it either on their supports. Like, look how poor everybody is.
A sentry. And smoking tea. Oh.
This courier snipe cost them a lot more than he might know. Like, he's playing defensively in some ways. Like, he's not running down because he's afraid that he might just run into a sentry. They don't have any.
They also use the epicenter for that, and that means Faces Void can play really aggressively at that bottom lane. Who's just doing that? Okay, Vlad's almost done for Havos. Another 200.
It's pretty rough right now. FN has the point booster. Looks like he's just gonna go for the Ags. I like it. Stat up. I guess the Yules doesn't really do too much against, for example, the Wraith King.
Big pickoff here on Funnick that will allow them to pressure a tier 2 tower. Yes, it's a way. They're fortunate that Aloha Dance has already taken that tier 2 at top. Doesn't really leave him with much to pressure anymore.
Dire's
Yeah.
structures are
This
fortified.
Nature's Prophet is just gonna right click him. I think I'm pretty low.
Dire's
Shouldn't lead to
bottom
anything.
tower is under attack.
This bottom tier 2 looks like Empire do want to fight this. This is a pretty significant
Radiant's
pickoff.
top tower is under attack.
They get the stun on the
Dire's
Aloha
bottom
Dance,
tower
but again,
has fallen.
Low vision.
low vision. Someone's got to carry something. Carry a dust. They're gonna jump on Gotham here. The Sunstrike on point, but the imprisonment save. There just a half a second before that Sunstrike lands. He will be able to get the blink out. There is a Chronosphere onto 2, but Illidan's already in the front lines alongside Apple. They're gonna go for FN first, but he gets the Oracle save. Now they have to turn on to Goretz instead, blowing him up. Meanwhile, the Witch Doctor ultimate is gone up. They're gonna be able to get him both ever so barely. The Sand King stun comes in right on time, and HellRaisers managed to win the fight.
They just got way too cocky in that fight, Empire.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to use the Wraith King for the Faceless Void ultimate ideally at all because Illidan stunned Void as he walked in.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really able to cast anything as a follow-up. Like, he couldn't get his time dilation off. Just got stunned, and then as soon as it ended, the disruptor started chaining things down, but it didn't really matter at that point. Luckily, they were able to get something out of it. They picked off this Nature's Prophet, but again, in game 2, HR.
Do you think that was an execution point there for Havos? Do you think he should have been looking for a Chronosphere that could have caught maybe the Wraith King and the OD rather than the supports in the back?
I'm not really sure. I think that was a pretty good chrono. It was just that his team wasn't nearby enough, and
Yeah, they got completely intercepted as Apo and Illidan just went on full offense at that point.
yeah, it was a correct move for those two to make because they're really tanky. His drums, Obsidian, or Outworld Devourer, really tanky. He's got drums, wand, doesn't go down easily at all.
So, do you double down on that and get like Rod of Atos next?
No, you're probably gonna be KB if anything.
That is going to be his item choice with the Ogre Club already picked up. Tier 1 tower does go down in mid.
You don't really need DPS items on this guy. You just need to survive long enough to get Arcane Orb hits, and you'll steal DPS.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So they're gonna take this tier 2, and again, despite Empire having significant leads in both XP and net worth, so far it's all HR.
They're going to try and defend middle right now. Waiting for the Sand King to make his initiation at bottom. He's going to go for the epicenter play onto Havos. He's got TPs coming in as well. Do they have the stun in time? Illidan gets it! Oh, ever so barely they managed to get the stun onto Havos before he could time walk all of that damage. Now, did they get out cleanly at mid? They did.
They did. That was really good by them. They
Dire's
lost the
middle
tower, right?
Yeah, that was really well set up. The Sand King being the only one that was missing. Empire probably assumed that he was sitting
He
behind
was
them
missing
in mid.
anyways. Like that's just how Sanking plays, right?
Yeah, but they probably assumed he was sitting behind them mid, right? Waiting for some sort of initiation from Empire, when in reality he was stopping the split push.
That was honestly a fair assumption from Empire.
Yeah.
Hey, that's gonna be a pretty damaging.
Oh, they already got a Aloha dance. Can they burst him down? He gets off his ultimate, and what a big disruptor ultimate with the meatball over the top. Illidan has the blade mail though, and that's going to return a huge amount of damage back to both Invoker and the disruptor. The course is still alive here, but a good save coming out from the Oracle, and Aloha dance will start healing himself up back up to full. Illidan pops another round of blade mail, but that's life number 1. Gort's going to go down to the right clicking of Shotchlo. FN controls Illidan as best as possible while Gotham goes for the extra kill. A pick off onto the OD. Still though, they managed to get a good Chronosphere control, and this will be a big win here for Team Empire, as they should be able to take this fight without any more losses. The question is whether or not they can finish up and take Roshan, which is already at half HP. Sand King, Gotham says no. He's actually going to try and challenge this one without an epicenter. He's going to run in, go for the Burrow Strike play. Roshan is low
right now,
but it's going to be a close call. Roshan's going to be going down. Aegis is picked up, but Gotham, maybe he can pick up a kill off this. FN slowed down. Tornado's going to put a stop to that Sandstorm, and now Gotham's left with no escape whatsoever. No Burrow Strike with that time dilation going on, and no Blink Dagger with all the damage coming out. Aloha Dance stopping some of the other impeding heroes. Virion trying to go in, but gets caught by the Slark. Fortunately, an OD save was there, so there were no additional deaths on the side of HellRaisers, but buying back and attempting to contest Roshan was clearly not the play.
It's not just that. I'm so surprised that HR decided to take that fight anyways. Like, everybody from Empire was set up around that area. They knew for a fact they were going to go for the Roshan, and I think HR incorrectly assumed they're like, okay, because the Void's down, that's a major AoE ability that we don't have to worry about. The Disruptor is so strong at this phase of the game against the Outworld Devourer. The Slark just jumps in during the ultimate, he pins down 1 or 2 heroes, and that's enough.
Do you think HellRaisers should always be winning until they have the BKB in this situation on OT before they
It's
Roche?
like they were trying to get more out of it, but they were thinking to themselves, okay, we took this mid tier 2 already. The Void is still dead. What are we supposed to do? I was just about to mention that. I was like, there's no way they should fight. Like, the OD is so far into the pit. Like, they had 4 heroes in the pit. The Disruptor had perfect positioning. There was no counter initiation on him as he walked in. That was the only way they were going to be able to win that fight, is if they stunned the Disruptor on the way in. They weren't able to catch him, and now things have really devolved for them.
Aloha Dance is already working on his Scotty. He's got 1 ultimate orb, can pick up a secondary already. So this is looking really bad, because the progression of the Slark, right, is what kind of determines the timing of HellRaiser's lineup. Slark gets too big, it's unlikely they can ever do enough to be able to take him out in these team fights.
I like that they're still playing aggressively, though. HR realized the strength of the lineup. Like, Illidan is still pretty farmed.
Dire's top tower
I'd kind of like
has
for him to get a
fallen.
Blink Dagger before they get into this next
Radiant's
fight.
middle tower is under
Because they
attack.
need something that can jump on top of one of the 2 cores on Empire's side. Yeah, he's got it now too, and it's flying out. They should wait for it before. It's a pretty significant item. And the BKB is coming out on
Dire's top
the
tower
OD
is
as
under
well.
attack.
And this is
OD's
their
gotta be
items.
very careful. This is an ether lens on Goretz. Like, he moves forward a little bit, he's actually in range of Glimpse. That's how absurd it is. So, there is a large amount of pick-off potential with this kind of
Oh god,
positioning skill.
it's outside of my screen.
Yeah, you zoom in. If you're just playing Disruptor and you're sitting right in the center, you hover over Glimpse, you can't see your AoE.
Holy, I have it zoomed out. It's
Yeah.
it's intense.
The lens. It's an item.
That's
And
absurd.
it works really well with Disruptor skill set.
Yeah.
He likes to have arcane boots, can break it apart.
Pretty
Aloha
crazy.
Dance is going to be going on. Got him. This free pick off here with the Static Storm. I'm not even sure if that was... Yeah, it was probably
Yeah,
necessary.
they
Stop the
needed
first
it.
strike.
He didn't have dust either. I think they had to do it.
Avo's going to come in from behind with a fresh BKB. They're going to try and get a pick off on Havos. That should be easy, but they kind of need a bit more. That's why they're going to go for Goretz here. Illidan does have his blink. Quite see Goretz, so they won't be able to get anything else. That's a full BKB, 10-second BKB used. Only a pick off on the Faceless Void. Meanwhile, Shachlo almost getting caught there by FN, who was just probably 100 distance away from being able to get off a cold snap.
He's travel now too, but still pretty susceptible to the damage that HR has. They need to figure out a way to protect him. They have the Oracle, and Funnick has been pretty solid on him, but a lot of it's going to come down to whether or not he's able to get his ultimate off.
Scotty's now complete. We have got him trying to build up beneath the lens, but he's far behind.
Like how FN drops the TP instead of just selling it. Travels are coming to him.
Pick up on the Slark there. I was trying to figure out what you were talking about. Aloha Dance is going to be bursted down, though.
That's
It's killing a Witch Doctor, him just being overly aggressive.
They should just push
HellRaisers
it.
We're in a position to punish, and you know they want more. They're going to be able to find Funnick as well as Goretz. Chooses to go for Funnick, and he burst him down in time with a stun. Chronosphere interrupting this one. Abo's trying to get some damage out. FN with a beautiful meatball over the top. They're going to be able to take out 2 of the cores and go for the 3rd as well. Illidan is dolled up by the cold snap. They're going to try and take him out while on the right-hand side. Gotham is getting away from Funnick. Looks like he may be able to get the kill on that support. Illidan turning around, does have his secondary life ready to go, but with a Sunstrike, oh, nice blink away before the damage can come in, but there's a send back. Bottom's waiting on the side here. Nice 2-man burrow strike. Both is dropping quite low. They're actually going to go for FN instead. Almost managed to execute him with a critical, but Illidan's now going to be caught in between both the Oracle as well as the Force Spirits. Looks like he gets out. Funnick not going to be as lucky as he attempts to go for the Wraith King's life and finds his own life being in the hands of the Witch Doctor. Havos comes in with the Invis, but that should spell the end of the engagement. The turnaround there. That Chronosphere was beautiful. Ooh, almost got him with that Sunstrike.
FN was so low. Illidan, if he wasn't time dilated, his Wraith Fire Blast was so close to cooling down. Almost had that available, and that would have been a pretty clean victory actually for HR if they could have taken down the Invoker, and then they probably would have gotten another hero, and then the buyback certainly would have been worth it. But the beginning of that fight, the deafening blast onto the OD was way too strong. Like he had no time to pop his BKB.
Yeah.
He was caught off guard completely. That's the strength of the Blink Invoker, right? What are you supposed to do against that? If he catches you from fog, you sort of have to start the fight, know what's going on, and
Same goes with the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
It was just really smart of them to take that kind of initiation, knowing that HellRaisers were going to be playing very greedily. Going, we have a pick off on the Slark. We should try and force the fight, see if we can get more.
that OD has to be frustrated. Pretty
Aloha
good
Dance.
laning phase, but hasn't been able to capitalize enough.
As HellRaisers run out of steam, in a way, do they need to farm up maybe their next set of items? Do you think they just keep going balls to the wall, force these fights, see if something different happens?
I mean, I think they sort of have to fight, because the Wraith King is just going to get out farmed pretty hard. He doesn't have a Midas or anything, and the Slarkers are so much more efficient about clearing cramps than he is, right? Because he is the wave clear from Dark Pact. And his mobility That's the thing about Slark too, that is really underrated, is just because of his ultimate, he can get from camp to camp so quickly. Wraith King doesn't really have that luxury. Wraith King is inherently a fighting core. Maybe would have liked to see him get a Midas in hindsight, but probably thought the team fights were going to go better than this. And they probably should have. Fight out Roshan. If that doesn't happen, I feel like HR, they took consecutive tier 2 towers. They got the pick off on the Void at bottom while doing so. And they were doing fine before they forced it.
Yeah, if they had been able to pick up an Aegis for the OD, the amount of aggression that they can output is pretty insane. 2 heroes, extra lives.
Sand King hasn't been able to get a strong initiation off either. He used this ulti solo for Funnick, and Funnick still didn't die.
Most of Empire's lineup is pretty burst oriented. If you ignore obviously the Slark's late game potential, Funnick picked off. If you ignore his obviously very sustained damage that only increases as the fight goes on, a lot of it comes down to this Chronosphere meatball combination.
Oh, a tough FN.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of play that was. Ass pings going out all over these wards being placed. Got him. Won't be able to get away
Radiant's
here.
bottom tower is
Goretz
under
and
attack.
Havos sitting in the same area of trees. The Ether Lens is now complete for the Sand King, so some extra range initiation. Now all he needs is the Ags or that really, really long range burrow strike. Thinking about it. They do have kill combo between these two, but Goretz is going to be caught. Illidan managed to blink himself in. They had the defensive jungle ward sitting here that spotted out this attempted rotation.
Still, this is not the ideal pickoff for them.
Gotchflow not going to be able to get the TP out. The Deafening Blast is going to be able to stop that one, but he might still get away. He's got a TP out. Afo, they're actually probably going to turn and kill the Invoker if they have the vision for it. Looks like they do. That damage, there is nothing there, but Gotham can still get the Burrow Strike. Links forward, reveals the Invoker, and they've got him dead to rights. Was Afo expecting damage out of that, or was that,
get rid of the mana?
Yeah, I was going to...
I think he also anticipated it doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the Invoker has a ton of stats. It's
Yeah.
hard to burst all that down. Actually do anything to him.
So pick off on FN. HellRaisers are kind of in a similar position that they were 5 minutes ago when they picked off the Slark. Roshan is up this time around though.
They probably go for this.
Yeah.
The Invoker doesn't have buyback. They can't know that, but they might have seen him buy out the Octarine, or the Soul Booster for the Octarine.
Mhm.
So if they go for this right now, they could hit a really good timing.
And their lineup is timing based, which means that you do have some pressure perhaps on you to make slightly risky decisions, like going for Roshan in this situation.
I think they're afraid though. Havos is up
They're
and
too afraid.
they have Disruptor Ultimate up, and the Invoker's just about up, and he's got a fair bit of items, but
Yeah, obviously they missed their timing about 30 seconds ago, so...
I think even then, because if the Invoker does have buyback, and you fight into that, then it's just kind of the game.
Yeah, he doesn't have any tier 2s to get to, though. And he
I
doesn't
guess.
have bots. Oh, he does have
He
bots.
does have bots.
Oh,
What do you-
my bad.
What the, Austin?
You were going
Come
to
on,
agree
man.
with me, come on.
No, I knew he had bots. That's why I was laughing about that, because he dropped his TP, but over here at the fight...
Aloha Dance, he managed to get off his Q just in time, and there is going to be a TP in from the Furion, still looking for that extra disposition with Sprout, but don't get anything. They forced out the Slark's ultimate. Is that enough to confidently go take Roshan?
Yeah.
And
With the Invoker showing top.
okay.
Although they must not know this, but the Invoker's gonna have the TP available. They might think that he just started running up there, but he's TP, and the BKB's done too.
Yeah, this could definitely be counteracted by Empire. They've got a BKB now on Slark.
Oh,
To
this
travel
is so
in with the
scary.
Invoker.
HR, they've got to get out of this
Aloha
pit.
Dance leading the way. They do have the counter word revealing. Oh, the ultimate goes out. Actually, Havos jumped into that one. They still managed to catch it with the Chronosphere, though. It didn't take a lot of damage from Aloha Dance, soaking up those stats. And the Apo's already dropped low. Gets off the BKB, though, and is going to target these supports. Second Life, Illidan in some trouble. They do have the save from the Oracle onto the Disruptor. Now they're going to try and blow up Illidan with a great Sunstrike combination there after the imprisonment. Aloha Dance looking for more. Managed to get Yola Warrior. Knows he can jump himself. Oh, that one doesn't get it off. Oh, a big hit from Apo. Who's feeling whose stats? Apo Ninja comes out on top. HellRaisers managed to keep this fight even. A 2-for-2 trade-off, and seeing as they kill both the Faceless Void and the Slark, it's very clearly a win for them.
Gonna go back into the Roche pit. That was such a good regen rune by the OD2 that he had bottled. He just reset the fight. It's almost like he had an ink. Gonna get this Roshan. They needed this so desperately too. Yeah, both their cores having 2 lives. Think about that, Austin.
Wow, that's a very good point, Blitzdota.
They've got 7 lives to work with.
If it works out for them, they've got Ashivas coming in now for Apo. Really buying with this Aegis. What about the Furion? I feel like we haven't seen very much impact from Shotchlo. Is this just not a good game for a Furion because you're dealing with heroes like Slark and Invoker that are decently good at picking off, or...
You notice he's building mainly utility.
Yeah, he started off with 4 staff and such, but... He's now got a Mjolnir. Do you think this is the right play? Do you think there's anything like maybe a Necronomicon or something that would be better suited?
I don't think Necro would be as good.
Yeah.
Empire Voice Steel. Probably the better... right now. Ags would have been okay. Damage from it. Pretty good.
Ags. Play done for the Faceless Void.
Top fight. Vos is looking for
Gonna
the jump.
on a shot slow, but there's already so many members of HellRaisers to be able to respond. The Sunstrike goes out. He tries to time walk himself away, but Havos, that will not be the initiation, my friend. He's gonna be easily chain stunned down. And if HellRaisers weren't ready to go high ground before and maybe just thought about a tier 2, now they definitely can go high ground.
Empire have to split
down.
Split push. Go fast.
Maybe he can take the tier 2 out of this, but that'll give him some buyback gold to work with.
Did Havos think that was just like a solo Nature's Drop
I
thing?
guess so.
That was really risky though. Like in any case to go for.
I'm not even sure if he kills the Furion there with just the Sunstrike.
Yeah, me too. He has 4 staff. He's pretty tanky with all of these stats. Oh, this is such an aggressive TP.
Yeah, Shotchlo and got him. Going in pretty deep here. They will be able to get the pullback. They choose not to drop the ultimate though. They're going to try and wait for Havost and before they use the static storm to see. Shivas goes out. Apo takes large amount of damage there. Still has the BKB and Aegis to work with though. No reason to use that magic immunity. And Slark is working on that tier 3 tower. In fact, he's already taken it out. They have the TP, one of the TPs back. Melee Rax going to be stalled up a little bit. Good disarm. Ice Wall also being used. Back over to the Rax. Got him. Can't really stop the Slark. He's just annoying him with Sandstorm. Now Illidan only left with 1 life here. Maybe left behind. They do have the imprisonment that's going to be able to save. Back over to the bottom lane. Aloha Dance is caught. As Gotham is able to take him out with the help of the Furion. Back over to the top lane to push back onto Apo. As Bunny's going to be going down first. They do have the buyback though. The Slark, as he took that tier 3 tower, is going to be able to come back in. Go for Illidan first. Second life is going to be going down here. Apo still has his Aegis though and can't afford to be caught. That's why BKB teleports out and calls it a day. Melee Rax, and they managed to keep their melee racks at, or excuse me, ranged racks at the bottom lane safe.
That might have been the best possible scenario for them. They lost the tower, yes, but they don't lose the racks. And more importantly, they're able to get a Rax, and all it really cost them was Wraith King, and in return, because the Witch Doctor, I mean, that's not really a hero that they care about losing. But most importantly, they forced the buyback out from the Slark.
Yeah. Now, if they just kill Slark once, that might just be GG.
Can't believe VHR is doing it again, like part 2. It's like they had a 10,000 gold lead, 10,000 XP, maybe even more than that, like probably closer to 11. And now it's almost centered to dead even. And it just feels like they're being a little bit sloppier than they have to in these engagements. Individual heroes are getting picked off that they don't need to, and they're just allowing HR to get back into the game. Like, the Sand King is a full Ags plus the Aether Lens. His initiation range is absurd. if we were talking about how laughable the Disruptor one was, the Sand King stun range is insane. He hits you from where the tower used to be into like the middle of the creep wave.
So he can go from like here all the way to like the tier 3 tower, which Blink and Burrow Strike.
Wraith King getting really close to his AC as well. He's got a DD rune there too. Full AC, that helps his team so much. Buffs up everybody's armor a little bit and the damage. That's the only way that they can kill the OD as well.
Was there just not enough time? Obviously it's too late now, but was there not enough time previously for them to just like barrel down mid and still try and force a fight with Aegis?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's gonna take out the next like 15 or something.
It's awkward too, because if you... the Aegis doesn't matter so much. If you lose it early, and then they just kind of take the fight with like a good Invoker Deafening Blast, then you kind of just threw the game back. Wow, this was really well done though by HR. Battling back. They're playing smart. Getting all the wards out, and as well. They have one gem left in their base too. That gem is huge for them.
Any fresh item pickups we haven't talked about yet? Havos still not having that Aghanim Scepter until now. Oh, there's a fresh pickup. That doesn't really change too much in just one engagement. It just means he's a little bit more free to run in and, you know, perhaps go for a Chronosphere for a solo pick-off or something.
It doesn't ruin their timing.
Yeah.
Just... I'm trying to think of how Empire's supposed to approach this. Like, their Slark can still get really strong. And I think that's something to consider at all times. So
you just slow roll it, right? Like, you almost have level 22 on Invoker, who's already got Ags, so you got Deafening Blast Ravage. Slark can just get stronger from here. If anything, the Otis is completely on HR. If you could just split push really efficiently and just buy yourself as much time. You know HellRaisers are likely to wait on Roshan anyway, too. So you've kind of got this guaranteed 2 minutes of farm. Unless you get picked up, or this initiation from God of double blinked in, they're gonna try and blow up Aloha for the Oracle save. Havos comes in, time walks all of that damage back out, and that was a heavy cost there. FN manages to catch shots, though pops BKB, it may not matter though. Havos and Aloha dance, nice 4-step save actually, and Illidan pops his blade mail, no damage coming out. Havos still thinking about the Chronosphere, not sure where to put it though. Grabs Apo, they're gonna try and blow him up while he doesn't have that Aegis. They do successfully take him out. That's double ultimates used while Aloha dance just handling Illidan as best as possible. Time walk in, Havos is going to be able to get him as he gets limped back into the trees, and Illidan's going to be left completely alone at this point. Really, he's just a punching bag for the Slark to steal more stats.
What an awkward fight for HR to take right there. None of them were really prepared to get into that kind of 5-on-5 engagement, and FN just had so much room to work with in that engagement, and they just waited for the BKB to finish on the OD. He was nowhere near his team, and they weren't able to consolidate their strength, which is huge for that lineup. They have to be able to kind of stick together and watch each other's backs, but the OD just gets gone on, single targeted, and goes down. Nice juke at top from the Nature's Prophet, but man, this game, the momentum of it just keeps shifting.
Was it the fact, do you think that at the moment they failed to get the Slark and Havos time locked out, should that just been a full disengage and leave the Furion dead?
I think it sort of has to be.
Yeah.
You probably just have to sacrifice the racks right here if you're HR, but you're gonna be pretty unhappy to do so.
Slark is still... He holds on to these stats for so long. 72 agility. It's gonna start ticking down now, but some of it. Apo trying to find the quick pick off here on the Invoker. Should be successful. Oh, BKB goes off just in time. Got him, timed it well, but the Invoker was spamming that BKB button.
TP's back to base. 8-second BKB. Still a really long time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Gone on in. Got him, just trying to slow down these pushes.
Next Roshan is really crucial for HR especially because they need a better way to protect their OD.
And just like that, there goes Slark's damage. Double damage found though. They're gonna try and get some mana out of Illidan. Blade Mail just does nothing to FN anymore.
He's
So
healing at the
tanky.
same time.
Yeah, Octarine cooler.
Being annoying. Might force Illidan to have to go back to base.
She'll probably open that tier 2 for Empire to take. As soon as they see that DD on the Aloha Dance, though. Unless they can make the right kind of initiation. Gotham's already found Gorath.
That's the
That's
gem
going to be
back.
the gem on the ground. They're going to slow down Aloha Dance, too. He's going to try and pounce off to the right-hand side. Illidan, stop this one. They already have the EMP going out. FO threatening that ultimate. Aloha Dance does manage to get the pounce away.
They just don't have anything that has a hard lockdown. Like the Hex. They had a Hex. Maybe they can get better of these engagements right now, but...
Shiva's was still the right choice, though, by AFO, right? Or do
Kind
you-
of think that Hex would have been better.
Okay.
I can make the argument for the Shivas because it makes him tanky against the physical, but Blink Hex is so strong that he would have been able to just burst down the Invoker. That's something that he's really struggling with right now. That his team doesn't have anything that goes through BKB. So what ends up happening is Empire pops those two, Aloha Dance uses his ultimate, and he's got the BKB, and during that time period, HR just can't fight.
Both plays potentially out from either team. Roshan is up. This first smoke coming out from HellRaisers. But Empire hiding in their base.
Oh, there it is. They needed something that could cut.
They still need the full Abyssal Blade to really make work of this. Just Sunstriked it. See nothing in the Roshan pit. Now, HR might feel confident going, they don't have vision inside. With Sunstrike down, let's just go. But Empire already in a position, smoked up, ready to make their initiation. This could be a big Chronosphere that catches AFO. This is the most notable hero right now. They can catch him with the Chronosphere, which they do, but Both is pretty far ahead. Now they're trying to run. They manage to get the stun onto Both. Static Storm gets laid out, but AFO, he's going to be able to get off his BKB, and Aloha Dance can't simply finish him off. The ultimate goes down. Aloha Dance is forced into an ult of his own, and AFO buys himself some time with the imprisonment. Executed? No. Gorath managed to get just barely away with the Ghost Scepter. FN runs himself away with that max movement speed. Invis. Skeleton Walk has nothing on Invoker. Ghost walks away and tries to throw an interfering tornado, but that's going to be Aegis and Cheese for HellRaisers. All they can do is try and split push.
That could have been even better. I almost feel like kind of messed up there because he had a 3-man burrow in the backline. They were all hitting the OD when he was inside the Chronosphere, and he started channeling his ult, and his ult was really good. But he could have assaulted the backline with that stun, but instead he went inside the Chrono and didn't do nearly as much as I think he could have.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Empire, fortunately for them, they only lose the 2 supports.
It feels like Havos trying to force that up too far. You know, if you catch that in the Roshan pit, fantastic. But getting in this area, especially with the way HR were already set up with these heroes on the high ground, just assaulted that Chronosphere. And they didn't get a chance to take a... Oh, they're still going to be able to catch him here with a Burrow Strike. Still has a pounce away, though. Should be fine.
Illidan loses all his mana.
Burned out. Ben. This is his get back spell. Cold Snap slowing down Illidan. He has Cheese still to be able to work with, so he's going to scarf that one down. Aloha Dance pops his BKB in return, stealing a ton of stats right now. He's hitting so goddamn fast. The Chronosphere is going to go down, catching Ampho, but he managed to get off his BKB, and now the Death Ward goes out, forcing Illidan back. They're going to go for Gotham instead, who's caught inside the Static Storm, but Imprisonment is going to be able to save him. Right now, HellRaisers are just covering each other constantly, being able to save hero after hero. Gotham managed to jump in. Aloha Dance gets off the perfect Dark Pact in order to dodge that stun, and it looks like got him. Well, he got the exploding disruptor off of that Oracle ultimate, and he'll also get the Oracle himself. Funnick's going to go down, and HellRaisers now the opportunity to push the high ground. Bottom lane still pushing out, but he can at least force some buybacks.
Then immediately buys back. Understands the position that his team is in. This is so precarious to them. Is can't afford to lose his second set of racks, and Illidan hits hard. And most importantly, this OD did so much in that fight.
Dire structures are fortified.
Ben's gonna slow them down. He's got the Refresher Orb too. They've got to be pretty
Dire's
careful
middle
about this,
tower
as
is under attack.
can't afford to just go in there and suicide.
Aloha Dance still has all of those stats. The Imprisonment goes out. Not going to land with the Sunstrike. Apo still has his BKB and Aegis. That's why maybe they're going to go for Illidan first. bounce back. Illidan is going to lose his reincarnation. BKB activated. They do manage to get a really good Chronosphere. No BKB this time around. This is going to be life number 1 for Apo, but Illidan's going to lose life number 2 now. Gotham comes in with a Burrow Strike, but now he just gets pushed back by that Deafening Blast. Ravages away. Apo's going to go down in secondary time. The Imprisonment can only save him so much harm. Shotflow does get caught. Blink away, but still, Apo, oh, maybe he can drop the Yes! He gets the Slark ever so barely. 100 seconds on the sideline, and Gotham is actually still storming away. He took that gem away from them earlier, and it's costing them. Time dilation, though, makes it so he has no Burrow Strike out of this. That will be the end of the engagement with HellRaisers almost all dead, but a very key hero died in that engagement for Empire. The Slark, who had to use his buyback earlier, was left with a 100-second death timer.
Does have it available. It has refresh when it comes to time, but a lot of his gold is down now, and that did cost HR a lot more, though. You use the buyback on the Disruptor, that doesn't really mean too much. The Invoker buyback is kind of significant, but even then, he's got a Refresh Orb, so he's pretty much 6-slotted. Not really much else that he has to go for in this case. Just has to save for the buyback cooldown timer. And I don't know if HR are going to be able to abuse that timing anyways.
Vos is looking for a pick-off. His Chronosphere is already back up. And if he can force some sort of action, maybe a pick-off, maybe he can force a buyback somewhere, the Sunstrike is going to come in, finishing off Yellow Warrior. Nothing Illidan can do about that. HR, keep cool, though. They don't throw any buybacks out of this aggression. They know Chronosphere shield. Oh, God, a bash. Jesus. Vos almost dies there because of that one. He gets another stun, but a blink away is going to allow him to escape. FN is quickly going for the range racks, knowing he has limited time to be able to work, as now Apo's back up. He goes for Goretz first. A send back. Apo chooses not to use his BKB to stop that one. Goretz is still definitely dead, even with the Oracle save. Uh-oh. FN, he came back in. It's going to be forced into a BKB usage as Gotham managed to get him with a Burrow Strike. Goretz is obviously dead, but it's a BKB used by the Invoker on cooldown for another 30 seconds. I guess that Octarine makes it so it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, Illidan's gonna briefly spot him, but FN is so quick. He's kind of running alongside the map. They're unable to chase him down. 1-for-1 trade right there. So they lose the Witch Doctor, but in return they get the Disruptor, who doesn't have buyback. That's a pretty inconsequential buyback. If anything, it's good for him to die right now to refresh the timer. HR can't really take advantage of it anyways. But
so Illidan's
this Invoker at bottom, he's gonna get stunned out. Is there any follow-up though?
He's got his BKB again. TP out, he'll be good. Just have no disables to go through that. Yeah. Bash.
Yeah.
Now, Illidan's going for a BKB, it looks like. Obviously, he's having a hard time between Static Storm, Leash, a lot of different of these abilities kind of kiting him around. Ice Wall is actually a really big one. But he as his next item, he could have also gone Abyssal Blade. You know, the blink in, get the immediate disable on someone like Slark, or even the Invoker, and just try and take him out first thing first. Oh, Aloha Dance. Burrow Strike doesn't land. They still have vision of him, though, and Aloha Dance needs to use his BKB and maybe even his ultimate in order to get out of this one. Pounces to the side, holding his ultimate off for the time being. Dark Pack goes away, but they still manage to get that line stun on him. Aloha Dance has another pounce up the cliff, but these stuns are coming fast and furious. They do have the Funnick to be able to provide that save. It's off his ultimate. Aloha Dance is going to drastically heal up. FN has his BKB coming up. Have a Sprout, though, to be able to stall him up or not. Shots, though.
They want to keep going for this, but look how fast he is.
Oh, they got Funnick, though. Jesus, this Burrow Strike initiation is too much for them to handle. Eventually, someone's going to get caught. And that will be the Oracle. Still, though, they managed to keep their Slark and their Invoker alive. The Invoker's going to have his BKB back up in time for the next fight, though.
He had to use the Sanity's Eclipse, too, for that one.
Oh, did they lose the gem for that? Yeah, they did.
Yeah. It might be the Nature's Prophet that goes for the Hex. I
Close to it? Oh,
really feel like they need one, just to lock down this Invoker. It's getting kind of silly. FN always just kind of has time to BKB blink out. They're never able to catch up to him, even when his BKB is down, just because of how quickly he's running. 459 move speed with the Tornado shooting behind him.
Going back to the Abyssal Blade, the different Illidan going back for the BKB rather than the Abyssal.
I think he needed the BKB. Okay. Yeah, 100%. He's getting kited in these fights way too hard. I don't think the Abyssal would change that too much.
Chronosphere on the shot, though. Should be enough damage if they have the Sunstrike. Where is it? Okay. Apparently, Poker just wants the last bit of kill damage there. Apo is going to be forced into a BKB if he wants to be able to make sure he stops Havos from getting away. Time walks to the side, TP's out, BKB
One hit.
lasting long enough. They'll be able to TP out.
Oh, did he get the hit? I saw his basher go on cooldown.
Yeah, might have been after he hit.
Top FN. I thought it was one of those things, you know, where it hits after and it registers inside the base.
Oh, yeah. Guess I could.
It was so close to be able to get the hit.
Refresher's coming in for Apo, so double BKB, double Shivas, even perhaps a quick blink away, and of course, double Sanity's Eclipse. The longer these fights draw out, obviously it's favorable to the Slark, but it's also really good for the OD as well. How long does that steal last? 50 seconds. Rack up some serious damage in the very long, drawn-out fights.
Want to wait for this refresher before they do anything, but Aloha Dance is rapidly becoming untouchable. He's got the moon shards, he's got the basher himself, the missile is going to be short to follow. All has room to grow is the scary part. Talked about it, this is a hero that's really good against HR's lineup if he just has space to run. Assembled around this Roshan pit though is
Radiant's middle tower.
BKBs, they feel pretty confident.
God, Goretz. Jeez.
What the hell is this? What?
Burrow strike.
Whatever, man.
So absurd. Roshan is almost up. Second.
Almost would have liked to see the Sand King get a veil at some point.
But at this point, is it too late to go Veil? Magic damage just not as good as utility.
That still might be okay.
You could even go like Ethereal Blade to save someone else.
Guess there's not huge magic burst from Empire. Game slows down a little bit. As HR, they don't really want to give up on that Roshan area, but they can't really afford to leave their base because of the bottom lane pushing in, and FN's putting a lot of pressure at the top. A lot of items just kind of flood in at the same time for HRs. They get the refresher on the OD. The Wraith King's going to complete the BKB at the same time. Talking about how big item timings are. Okay, there's, like you talked about, this pumping.
Safety mechanism.
It's really good. The Void's going to catch you anyways. Might as well.
Use it there, use it on maybe whoever the Slark goes on. They don't have thing to protect themselves.
And just walks in completely unafraid. Now that he's got the BKB, he's gonna feel pretty confident.
Now that kiting that was causing him so many issues before is now going to be heavily negated.
Still scary fight.
Oh, that's a bad takeoff though. Witch Doctor's gonna go down almost first. It looks like the Deafening Blast, not quite enough. He gets off the Glimmer Gate. Gotham gonna come in with his Epicenter. Burrow strikes right on through with the supports in the back line, trying to pop them as soon as possible. The Static Storm, the ultimate goes off, and manage to force something at the very least. Now Cold Spear, that's a beautiful one actually, catching both FN as well as Apo, but they still manage to get the Deafening Blast, push back onto Apo, making sure they take him down before he can get off any sort of refresher nonsense. Illidan turns around onto Evoke, hoping for some big time dashes. That's not going to happen. And FN disrupted with the Tornado, stopping Nola Warrior from being able to get out as well. Triple kill for Funnick. Of all heroes, this lane the game with so much damage on heroes like Aloha Dance. Christ, look at him. 102 agility stolen, plus he's got alacrity.
Yeah, he's hitting way too hard right now. I think he's gonna pick up an Aegis too. Just eats the moon shards, leaves the cheese for one of his teammates. They're gonna just drop their extra gem as, I don't know, like HR, they've got 5,700 gold on their Nature's Prophet. I feel like they could have bought something to help them in that engagement. Kind of has to know that they have to win that fight. You might as well just buy it out. Yeah. There's not enough time for Empire to immediately push in anyways, but they weren't able to get anything off. They weren't able to get the second refresher orb off. That would have made a pretty big impact for them. They still don't have any disables for FN, so he just continues to do whatever he wants in every engagement, as he's got the refresher, and he was able to get his off, so effectively has a 10-second BKB to work with. And without a Hex or anything like that, he feels so comfortable.
So they'll push on through tier 3 tower. This could be the end here. Is Empire going to force perhaps one more fight with this Aegis?
Radiant's middle tower
Invoker even
has
has
fallen.
Moonshards himself.
12 more seconds till the Wraith
Radiant's
King is
middle
back up.
barracks-
Oh, he
Radiant's
does.
middle barracks has
He
fallen.
hits so hard, too. So one laner rags down.
Radiant's top
They're going to
barracks
leave
are under
Aloha
attack.
Dance and Havost on the front lines. They both... One has Aegis, the other has buyback.
Radiant's top
First strike comes in, they manage to catch Havost there. The epicenter, not quite enough damage with the Ethereal Blade to pop him. So Havost gets off his BKB, as well as a Chronosphere. That pushback there, managed to get Apple out of the Chronosphere, but he's getting bashed up too much. Aloha Dance controls him beautifully. Now buyback from the OD. Illidan's going to go down, losing his first life. Apple comes back in, though. This is only the first life of the Slark, though, and he managed to get off his ultimate, too. Bash up on Apple. Good save from Shotslow. The ultimate gets dropped, but Aloha Dance managed to get saved by the Oracle. He's going to get out more damage before he pops. In fact, he's not going to pop. He lives with half HP, and that's the end of the game. HellRaisers lose game number 2. Empire push it to a full series.
Man, HR, I really feel like they were just like 1 or 2 items away from being able to take this game. They just had nothing to deal with the Slark and the Invoker late game, and it wasn't even the Slark, it was more the Invoker that they just could never lock down. Empire consistently beats them in the last 3 fights, and again, kind of the same storyline, but this time around, Empire's able to close it out because they actually have some late game to rely on. Really well done by them.